What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It is 2020 Tech Official. My name is Mariano. I'm glad to see everybody, and thanks for tuning back into another stream. I know over the last couple weeks, streams have been, I wouldn't say hit or miss, but they've been far in between. But I wanted to, of course, take the opportunities that I can to not look at the charts, because I always talk about if you can ever find time to keep your eyes off the charts, it's really a good idea to do that, guys, to make sure you don't end up over trading. And that is what I do. I don't just preach, I practice what I preach. So that's what I've been doing. But of course, very active in the Discord group. If you guys have any interest in joining that, links in the description. All right, so we've already got a couple people here. Don't forget the thing to do to get the stream started off strong. If you have not already expended your click of the like button, please go ahead and do that. It is a free way to support the channel and support the live streams. And of course, if you want to send Doge to me, you can, or if you want to super chat, all of that is appreciated, but these streams are free. Artful Dozier says #1. Yes, thank you for that support. Glad to finally catch you. Actually, I have been live a couple times this month and last month, but I think I was going live a little late and wasn't able to catch you in those streams. We had one stream a couple days ago as well, but good to see you back. Crypto has not been the same without you. I do appreciate that, man. Means a lot. Yes, hit like and subscribe. Absolutely. Historical prices for April for Bitcoin. Yes, let me get that pulled up in another tab here and get that ready for you. We can absolutely look at that. And I think I should have that queued up here in a second. Yep, there we go. The Chubbs, what's going on? Welcome to another stream. Hey, what's going on, Crypto Critter as well? Rick, good to see you again, man. I caught you in, I saw your name when I was in Matt's stream yesterday. I was like, there's Rick. Glad to see you in the stream today. What's going on, Daniel? Hope you're doing good as well. And thank you guys as well for, you know, of course you don't have to, but being a member of the channel and helping support me financially, that does mean a lot as well, because though I have, you know, ads run here and there with, you know, not too many subscribers, that doesn't really do too much. So it's just a start, but thank you guys. It means a lot. The Chubb says, I wonder what the wallet news is. Hopefully a date they'll be live. So I did want to talk about Robinhood Wallets. And then Artful Dozier says, and also Doge tip jar, the impact of it. Yeah. Yep. Good calls. Awesome. Green screen. Yeah, I got the green screen rolling. So yeah, hopefully you guys like that little addition. Don't forget, hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and get started, guys. So a couple things to talk about here. And I know that Artful sent me a list of things that he wanted to talk about as well. So I think that'll be a good start. But as you can see by the title, Dogecoin Volatility is back. That's thing #1. And Robinhood Wallets news is kind of thing #2. Let me scoot over. I'm not really in the middle of my screen here. Robinhood Wallet news is #2. Let's start with Dogecoin Volatility, and then we'll do the Robinhood Wallets second. Now, I don't want to get you too excited about the Robinhood Wallets thing. Artful is onto something. It does have to be, it is related to me coming off the waitlist and finally being able to use it. And I'm testing it right now. If you check my Twitter, I just sent out my wallet, my Robinhood wallet address. So I'm going to begin testing and seeing what that looks like. But the reason why I think that this is important is because, and I'll talk about it more, like I said, secondary, but it's important because I was pretty far along in the waitlist. I was like a little over 500,000. And I did not immediately sign up to be on the wait list. I was like a day or two late. So the majority of people that were not, you know, like myself, that were not immediately on it and like near the first in line, that wave seems to now be hitting, because I have two Robinhood accounts, and I went and tried to jump on the wait list on one account, and then like a day later I tried to get on the wait list on another account, and they both got accepted about 2 hours ago at the same time. So it's a big batch of people that's getting accepted, but I want to talk about that in a minute. I'll leave that for a second. All right, but Dogecoin volatility. So first and foremost, let's take a look at Bitcoin here, the market leader. As you can see, there's not a whole lot happening here. We did see a nice amount. Let me check volume here. I don't have Skydive to tell me if my music's too loud. And it was probably near okay. All right. So taking a look at the price movement here, or not. Okay. You could see here that over the last couple days, I mean, we've had quite a bit of fluctuations. When you look at the price, though, of Bitcoin, and you see that we're at 46,000 per coin, you realize that these moves actually aren't insanely crazy. They're less than 10%, because at this price, $4,600 would be 10% of 46,000. And at no point did we go from like 44,000 all the way up to 49. So we didn't do any kind of 10% moves here. It was all in between like 2 to I'd say about 7% moves. But still, you could see a lot of movement. I mean, we went from here 44 to 45,000, and then we had a move up to 48. We held up there for a couple days, and then we ended up rejecting. We did not hold those price levels, and we crashed. Everybody took profit. Everybody went short, yada, yada, yada. Sold all the way down to 44 flat, and then over the next couple days, we grinded all the way back up here to 47, pulled back down to 45, back up to 47, back down to 45. And so there's a few things to note here. And those things are that we're trying to establish some form of support. People want to figure out, all right, well, what's the top? Especially those that are looking to do intraday trading and shorting. What's the top? And then people that want to go long are trying to figure out what's the bottom. Where's that support at? Now you can see there's a lot of indicators on my screen here. We'll let that fire truck pass really quick, or ambulance. All right, there it goes. So there's a lot of lines on my screen here. I'll just quickly explain what those are. So I usually use the EMA, but I have to show some love to the people that use the SMA as well, the simple moving average, instead of the exponential, because people do use both, even though the EMA has become more common. So basically what you're seeing is the 200, 150 EMA and the 200, 150 SMA. When I have it this way, I'm really getting all perspectives. So this orange line here and this red line, these bottom two, these are the 200 EMA and SMAs. And then you've got the 100s and you've got the 50s. And so this is really giving me, without even having lines on the chart per se. So if I don't even have my support and resistance lines mapped out, I can see based off this indicator what the most common areas for support and resistance are going to be. So 42, 43.4, 44, almost 45, and then here at about 46. So I can see support and resistance at a glance just by using the indicators to tell me that. And then if I want some more detailed levels, some levels that I'm finding on my own, I can look horizontally or whatever, and then look for, you know, supports and resistances the classic way. But this is giving me insight into what a lot of people are seeing right now. All right, so that's just to explain the indicator situation. But as you can see, we are trying to, just the overall summary of what's going on here, it's pretty clear. We're trying to make a move up and break above and hold above 48,000 here, and then head towards this area, this 48 to 52 level, and break above that, obviously, and go on a bull run up back towards 70s. But next steps here, get to 48, break and hold above 48, find support, and start trading in this area instead of this area. Steps to get there are find support now, obviously at a relatively high price to set us up for that. Find support, double bottom, triple bottom, something like that, and then go back up to 48 to retest. Because the first time we tried to just blast through it, it didn't work. So we fail, find support here at the 100 EMA, we do a bounce, find support here again at the 100 EMA. Now this 100 EMA is also at 45,000, which is a really strong mental level and a strong actual support level. Because if you just take a glance across, if I were to just draw a line here at 45,000, you could see here, 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 here twice, here, a little bit here, and in this general area right here. Right, this was under 46. This was like 45.7, 50, 45.5. So this 45,000 area is very crucial. Now that we're on the top side of it, we're trying to find support on top of it. And then once we find support and we're good at this level, we can start thinking about going to the next level. Once we're good at this level and we find support here, we can think about going to the next level. That's the way price movement works, as a lot of you know. So that's what we're trying to do here. Just a quick explanation of what's going on. But as you can see, short term, I mean, there was nothing incredibly crazy going on today. I mean, price movement wasn't going absolutely insane. All we really saw was a bounce off 45,000 support and a move up to 46,000. That doesn't mean a whole lot in the altcoin world because for Bitcoin, yeah, it's $1,000, but it's only like a 1 or 2% move. It's nothing crazy. So that considered, you look over at Dogecoin and you may be wondering, well, what in the world happened today? Because this move right here was absolutely insane. And so that's what I want to talk about. Dogecoin Volatility, guys, it's back. And that's really exciting to say because there was a long period of time where people were really starting to get discouraged. People were starting to say Dogecoin's dead. And the reason for that was because Elon tweets, news, and a lot of things were not moving Dogecoin the same way that they previously moved the coin. In the past, any kind of announcement, the mention of Doge by someone important or anything like that would cause the price to fluctuate wildly, and the price could jump 10, 20, 30% in a matter of minutes. These days, Elon says something about Dogecoin, and now people are so used to it that the price moves a couple percentage points, if any. Sometimes it doesn't move at all. And that's just because people have started to get used to Dogecoin. They've gotten used to Elon Musk being on board. Like, it's no longer such a crazy catalyst. Like, it's been how long now since we've known and we've seen Elon doing these things day after day or week after week. So that factor has worn off a little bit, that excitement factor for Elon's support. But that doesn't mean anything about the coin, because the coin's not just a meme coin anymore, and I'm sure you know this. Dogecoin has its own angle, it has its own lane, and its purpose is to be the crypto currency of the world. And emphasis on currency, which means you use it to buy things with, you use it to sell things for, so just like you use cash or something like that. So there's not a whole lot of other coins that are in that space competing for market cap or attention, because it's not a super profitable space. If you look at other projects like Ethereum, you look at projects like ADA, Cardano, and all the others, there's usually a whole lot of incentive to do something like that. I mean, you create a coin, you start building out this crazy network that gets people super excited, make it look like it's the best solution with price potential, I mean, to go to the moon, through the roof. Ethereum was hundreds of dollars at one point. Now it's thousands of dollars, and it could be tens of thousands of dollars by the end of this year or next year. Something like Dogecoin, huge amount of circulation, not the same kind of network, so not the same kind of potential to be on the same playing field. It's not going to ever compete with something like Ethereum for being a smart contract platform or anything like that, an NFT platform. It's a very simple project. Just be a good coin to send to people in exchange for goods or services. And what is that kind of coin really worth? Is it worth a couple $1,000s per coin, or is it just worth what it's worth? And for that reason, I don't see Dogecoin going to those kind of extremes, especially because, the whole inflationary nature of it at this time. But that being said, there's really no competition for the coin in its space. There's development work going on, and then there's a whole lot of adoption to be had. So there's still plenty of potential. It's just not going to be thousands of dollars per coin. It'll probably be a couple dollars per coin or something like that, something more reasonable. So anyway, people's perceptions of Dogecoin are a little warped. They get caught up in making money fast in these projects that seem like, they can jump in it with 1,000x potential and everything, which you probably could find something like that. But me, myself, I'm not really one looking to gamble or looking to get into something that's extremely risky. If I like a project and I like the community and I like what it stands for, like Dogecoin, that's why I'm behind it. And I see lots of profit potential as well, which is the bonus. But anyway, this is really important, seeing this kind of movement, because like I said, people really were starting to preach that Dogecoin is dead and just doesn't have it in it anymore. And we're starting to think that the only time Dogecoin would move was if the market moved and caused Doge to move. And that announcements, catalysts, or just people in general feeling good about the coin wasn't enough to cause any kind of movement anymore. And today that was proved wrong. We saw it proved wrong a couple days ago when we saw a massive spike here in this general area where we moved up from, what was this? A little under 12 cents. Well, let's actually start here because it was right around a little under 12 cents right here. Over the next couple days, we just saw crazy movement all the way up to 15 and a half. And then a pullback, a little bit of bouncing here. And then earlier today, if you look at this candle right here, this massive candle, we went from 14.1, I'm sorry, all the way up to near 16 cents, which is a crazy, crazy gain when you're only worth 14 cents. A 1 cent move is pretty significant. So for that to happen in a couple minutes, there's Dogecoin volatility, and that's something I get excited about. That was like a 10% move right there. So that's insane. And the reason, which we can talk about as well, there's a couple different reasons. One, I think people are starting to get more comfortable with altcoins right now, just because of the fact that the war situation in Russia and Ukraine is no longer headline news. People aren't freaking out about it as much, even though it's still going on and it's still not good. People aren't quite as terrified and shocked as they were when it first happened. And Bitcoin has already made its recovery, or started its recovery based off that fact. So first, and you probably know at least the way, the order of which recovery usually takes place in the crypto market. So usually the market leader, Bitcoin, is going to be the first one to recover. So when there's good or bad news about cryptocurrency as a whole, Bitcoin will move first. And so we saw a pullback here to, what was this area? About 37. And then Bitcoin was the first mover once things started to look more positive. So we saw movement all the way up to 48, and then it slowed down. After that, you start to see the altcoins start to react. So things like Cardano, that is not it. Things like Cardano, things like Ethereum, things like XRP, all of that. They usually move second, very closely following. It's like almost like everyone puts their money in Bitcoin first. Bitcoin makes the move, and then they take profit, and then they start to distribute their profit and their capital into other coins next. So they take it out of Bitcoin and add it to the altcoins. And so then you see things like Cardano run up next. So we went from about 75 or 0.75 on ADA all the way up to 125. Pretty significant move. It almost doubled in value. And same thing for Dogecoin as well. Dogecoin was down at 10 cents. Then it bounced here again at around, right around 11, just a little bit under. And then after Bitcoin finished its movement, Dogecoin just kind of lagged behind on each move, but then it caught up, and now Dogecoin is up at near 16 cents. So that's the way that this works here. Yeah, I will check out that agenda for you, Artful. Hang on one moment. Cool. So anyway, that's where we're sitting now. And Dogecoin volatility, I mean, it's really moving here. And I think that was really positive for people to just see the moves that happened after Bitcoin's recovery on Dogecoin, because they were pretty significant. Each one was significant. And that kind of contradicts the narrative that Dogecoin is dead and cannot have big movement when you see those kind of moves happen each day. And there was one move before this one, I think it was this move right here, that kind of happened off no news whatsoever. There was no news regarding Elon. There was nothing going on Twitter. Nobody was talking about Dogecoin. It was just a whole lot of buying activity, and that was kind of spark number one. And now, I'll stop rambling. This is what gets us to spark number two. And this is actually pretty important. All right? So Elon Musk apparently today bought 9% ownership. So he has a 9% ownership share in Twitter, which is very, 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 very significant. So we already know that Twitter is the platform that Elon Musk primarily interacts with people on. This is usually where he's talking. And we also know that he had some concerns over these last couple months here with Twitter and their take on free speech and what that really means on their platform. And he had some disagreements. So to see him then, he also joked about what if like he were to start his own social media platform. He said that a couple days ago. And then he goes and turns around and buys a nearly 10% share of Twitter, all of Twitter. So now he owns 10% of the company. And that was just today. Who knows if over these next couple days he's going to do more and take a larger share of ownership. But now, because he has 10% ownership of the company, which by the way was valued at $3 billion, which is an extremely large amount of money. But to Elon, that's actually still not a lot. So he could do a lot more than that. He could buy all of Twitter if he wanted. What would that be, like 30 billion at that point? A little, maybe 40? He could do it. But that means a couple different things. One, Elon Musk has some say in kind of decisions that are made. His opinion is going to hold some weight. Two, we know that Twitter has been working on a method for tipping other content creators. And I think they recently got a way to tip people in Bitcoin. Now, if people want to get tipped in Dogecoin or something like that, typically they would do something like what I just did here, which is kind of put in your Dogecoin cryptocurrency address and have it in your bio and say like tips appreciated and then link your address. But now that Elon Musk owns 10% share of Twitter and we know that he's a Dogecoin fanatic, the things that start to roll through your mind is the potential collaboration there where maybe Elon Musk will use Twitter as a platform to get things rolling with Dogecoin. Now, do I think that Elon Musk bought 10% of Twitter just to do the Dogecoin thing? Absolutely not. Though I also wouldn't put it past Elon because Elon's kind of a troll sometimes and likes to do crazy things. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that the reason that he bought into Twitter was because of Dogecoin. I'm not that much of a fanatic. But I will say that surely it crossed his mind at some point that if he had some say in what this company does, he could probably do something with the Dogecoin token and the community for fun. So I strongly believe that here over the next month or two, I'd be very, very shocked if we don't hear something about a Dogecoin interaction in Twitter. And that's going to be really, really good for a couple different reasons. One, nobody wants to send Bitcoin to another person as payment. Now, if you read, I think it was Satoshi Nakamoto, the one that was supposedly the one that created Bitcoin. If you read his description of what Bitcoin was supposed to be, you can start to realize that Bitcoin was never really intended to be a platform. Well, maybe even if you're not reading his, but if you just read what Bitcoin is today and what it's good for and the way that it works, you can clearly see that Bitcoin is not really ideal for sending to other people for multiple different reasons. One, it takes too long to move across the network. It's just not optimized for that, and they had to go through the whole Lightning Network thing to make that even work well. And two, Bitcoin goes up in value significantly over time. It's not really made or designed to be something that you want to get rid of. It's something that you want to hold on to and not sell. It would be like owning real estate and selling when you know that the market's booming and real estate's going to double or triple in price over this, let's just say the rest of 2022. We know that come June, real estate's going to be worth 150% of what it is now. And come December, it's going to be 300% of what it is now. Why would you take your real estate and start getting rid of it at this time? It doesn't really make any sense. It's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin. Over time, with the halving events and the mining difficulty increasing and all of that, very asset in a way. So why would you start, sending it to people instead of using an inflationary asset that's going to lose value over time and penalize you for holding it, like the US dollar or something like that? Why wouldn't you get rid of something like that instead of getting rid of your appreciating assets? It doesn't really make sense. So Bitcoin as a payment method doesn't really make sense. Yes, it's a store of value, but why pay people for things with it when you can use something that's worse? So that's why I think the Bitcoin currency idea is kind of foolish. But Dogecoin kind of solves that problem because, yeah, it's not super inflationary to where, you know, it's like, why would I hold this over the US dollar or something like that? But it's also not hyper deflationary to where you should be holding it or else you're dumb. It's a perfect middle ground, and it's great for sending around to people. So it really would make sense to see an integration there. And I think Elon Musk having 10% of Twitter is actually a major, massive catalyst here, because we can just start to assume that there's going to be some integration soon, and that would make the price of Dogecoin go through the roof, right? That would be huge. And so for that reason, I'm more bullish on Dogecoin now than I was over these last couple months, or even towards the end of last year. Pretty big information there. Another thing is going to be, trying to remember. Let's talk about Robinhood Wallets a little bit more. Now, I just signed up, and I was hoping I'd have a way to share my screen here. Maybe I can log into my Robinhood account on desktop and show you guys what I'm looking at here for the Robinhood Wallets. Maybe we'll do it that way. So hang on. And quick show of hands in the chat. How many of you have Robinhood and like signed up for the wallets? And how many of you that have signed up are now a Robinhood wallet user, like you're able to use it? Let me know. Meanwhile, I am signing in on desktop. Let's check the poll really quick as well. I asked in the poll, are you excited to see Dogecoin spiking today? About 80% said, of course, to the moon, and 25% said no. So there's some unhappy people today. No problem, I understand. Actually, I don't, but it's all right. So let's see. They do make you do two-factor authentication, which I absolutely hate. So hopefully I won't have to do that forever. All right, looks like I'm in. Okay. So hopefully I don't accidentally expose any personal information here. But as you can see, not a whole lot of money in my Robinhood account right now. I don't use this account for very much these days. But you can see I have about 50 bucks in here. And let's go to Dogecoin. And let's try and make an example here of how Robinhood Wallets works. As you can see now, it says I'm off the wait list. Exciting. The Chubb says I'm at 63K waiting since August. Oh, okay. Wow. Gotcha. Okay. So Rick, you're signed up for Robinhood. Are you on the wait list still, or did you end up getting the getting access? Oh, Robinhood's not available in the UK. That's surprising that they still don't have that available. That's really shocking to me. You would think Robinhood of all people would want to expand. All right, let's see. So basically what you do to use Robinhood Wallets once you have it is you want to first buy some of the thing that you want to send to somebody else. So what I did a couple moments ago, I went ahead and bought $10 worth of Dogecoin. Yeah, here it is. Your equity, 10 bucks. Waitlist? Okay, got it. So I have $10 worth of Dogecoin. Now, if you want to send it to someone, there should be a, let's see. Oh, can you not do it on desktop yet? We're kind of discovering this together, guys, because this is the first time I'm looking at it on desktop. On the app, there's a send and a receive button, but all I see is buy and sell on the desktop version. Messages, win wallets, now, transfer crypto. Let's see if this takes me somewhere else. Whoops. You don't have it? Okay, gotcha. Dogecoin. And if this doesn't work, I will just go ahead and demonstrate it on my phone. And if anybody would like to receive some Dogecoin from my $10 pool I have here, drop your Dogecoin wallet address in the comments. I'll donate to you. It'll be a reverse donation. How about that? Okay. Well, it looks like on desktop, they don't let you use the wallet feature. You can only buy and sell. So that's actually kind of dumb and a bit unfortunate. But hopefully they fix that by the time that Robinhood goes fully live and exits beta. So I'll go ahead and show you on the phone. This is what it looks like. So you can see here, I'm on. Should I turn the brightness down a bit? I'm on Robinhood on the phone. You can see there's the chart. I'm looking at Dogecoin here, and you see the buy and sell buttons right there. Well, if you just scroll down, you get two more options, which is going to be send and receive. If you can kind of make that out there, send and receive. And so if I click receive, it's going to give me the QR code that I can display. And it's also going to give me the wallet address right underneath of that. And then you get a copy button. That's what the white thing is right here. You can quick copy the link, the wallet address. You can paste it and send it to somebody, or you can share it. And that's how I sent that on Twitter. I click share and I sent that on Twitter if you want to. And that's how I got this tweet. This tweet right here. It just shared just the address. I wish it actually shared the QR code as well. Hopefully they add that, because that, in my opinion, anytime someone can use the QR code, they're going to prefer to do that versus having to type in an address or copy and paste. Now, if I click send, it's going to ask me how much Doge would you like to send, or I can change that from Doge to US dollar if it makes more sense for me to think of it that way. And so I'll put in $5. I want to send $5. And then it says scan a QR code or paste a Dogecoin wallet address. Okay, well, there's my green screen kind of glitching everything out. But yeah, you can take a picture right there or paste the address. Hey, whoever gets their Dogecoin wallet address in the comments first gets $5. I'm ready to send $5 of Dogecoin. So anyway, you would click paste address. You would type in or paste the address right there. And then you click review. And I guess it's going to tell you how much the fee is going to be. And you review it one last time. And then you click send. And that's how you use Robinhood Wallets to send Doge to somebody. Now, there are a couple limitations regarding Robinhood Wallets. And I read this before, and I should probably just review this with you guys, because there are just a few limitations when it comes to sending. Now, they do clarify that they do not receive the network fee, so they're not really making money by the transfer fees. But there is something here. If you hold a whole lot of Dogecoin, of Ethereum, of Bitcoin, or something like that, and you are looking to take this opportunity, now that wallets are live, to completely offload your crypto off of Robinhood because you're tired of them and you want to use something else. Maybe you just send it to a cold wallet, or you move it over to Coinbase or something like that, and you say, I'm never using Robinhood again. Here's my chance to get out. They do have a transfer limit, which makes that really hard to do if you hold a lot of coin. So right here, transfer limits. You can send up to, and I'll zoom in a bit, you can send up to $5,000 worth of crypto, or make up to 10 transfers total in a 24-hour period. So if you have $25,000 worth of cryptocurrency in your account, you're going to have to do this and split it up $5,000 a day over the course of about a week before you'll be able to offload 25 grand, because they limit you to $5,000. And then this, to me, is probably more of a security thing here, where you can make up to 10 transfers total in a 24-hour period. That's probably to just make sure that people aren't getting into your account and making a whole lot of transactions. At the same time, though, I think that's a little ridiculous, because maybe it's Why would it be? I'm trying to think. Why would they do that? Yeah, I don't know. To me, that doesn't really make any sense. So maybe they'll remove that part once the beta's over. But yeah, this part's going to keep you from completely abandoning Robinhood if you're a whale. So that's how they're going to hold you back. I knew there was going to be something when we were discussing this mid last year, and I was skeptical on Robinhood Wallets because we know that Dogecoin and some other cryptocurrencies made up the majority of their profit. And I'm like, well, yeah, they want to give people wallets like they want, but how are they going to do that and keep it free without losing all their customers? Because with all the controversy, we already knew first thing people would do is take this opportunity to say, all right, goodbye, Robinhood. I'm now sending it elsewhere. That's actually what the Dogecoin millionaire Pro the Doge was going to do too, and he complained about this in his video. So this was actually genius by them to put a send limit so that actual large accounts cannot just leave without having to do $5,000 a day and being miserable. Because if you have, like him, $1 million worth of Doge, what is this going to take you, like a year? Probably not a good time. Anyway, let's get to the final portion here of our stream for today. And of course, please ask questions, guys, in the comment section if you want to know anything that I did not cover. But I've got a little bit of an agenda that we can cover here. So let's see. All right, we talked about Elon's stake in Twitter. We just covered Robinhood Wallets. By the way, guys, the final part of this Robinhood Wallets discussion, I think that this is great news because, like I said, I think I'm towards the end of the wait list. There's probably not many people left. And usually the way, being like in a technology space for work as well, I can kind of give some insight here. Usually the way that people do rollouts of new products and services, especially when it's in something like alpha or beta, they go from smaller groups to larger groups. So let's just say that I want to beta test a program, and I'm gonna do it to with a 1 million person wait list. So group one, the first people I have to do the test, I don't know how buggy my program is. I don't know if it's going to have any significant issues, so I'm not going to want to expose it to 100,000 people. Maybe group one is just 1,000 people or 10,000 people. And then once they use it for a lengthy period of time, let's just say 30 days, and they get hit with a lot of obvious bugs, and I get the first 10 bugs ironed out, and then they have another 30 days and things are going pretty smooth, then I'm going to feel comfortable and say, all right, group two, let's do 10,000 instead of 1,000. And then same thing with them. And then once you have a bigger sample size and things are still looking good, then you're going to go 50,000, then you might go 100,000 per group, then you might do 250,000 per group. And you just kind of exponentially increase that group size the more confident you feel with bigger groups of people. So at this point, we're now at 500,000 on the wait list, which is pretty far along. We can now start to expect that if this wasn't the last group, there's probably just one or two more groups here left before Robinhood feels comfortable dropping the whole beta thing, noticing that they've ironed out all the bugs, the significant ones at least that really matter, and feeling comfortable just letting people say, all right, I want to use your wallets. They sign up and they get access. We're probably pretty close to that at this point with now that we're at the 500,000 mark of users. So, the catalyst bonus, I'm trying to think of the right words for this. The little bonus that I mentioned that Dogecoin would receive, or the benefit rather, of being a user of Robinhood Wallets, is that since there's so much Dogecoin on the platform, and the only option you had previously was to buy it, to sell it, now you have another option. You can buy it to hold it, you can buy it to keep in your account and then offload it to a cold wallet, or you can buy it with the intention to now send it to other people or businesses as methods of payment. So now that you have other options other than sell, that's going to reduce selling pressure because you can do other things. You can make a better use of it or other use of it. So we're going to start to see Dogecoin's price start to hold up better on moves like this, for example. So current day, if you're not a Robinhood wallet user, if you buy here and the price goes here and now your Dogecoin's valued at way more, it only makes sense to sell to capitalize on that profit. But now what you can do with a wallet, you can buy here, wait for the value to go up, and you can buy something while the price is here. So now, if the thing that you really wanted costs like 15.5 cents, but you didn't have enough here, when the price goes up, you don't have to sell and get 15.5 cents USD. You can go and directly buy that item for 15.5 cents in Doge, and that never gets counted as a sell. Now someone else is just holding that Doge that you held. You just sent it over to them. It was a transfer, not a sell. So these bars here, the selling pressure of people selling it on the exchange, creating all this selling pressure, starts to deteriorate because instead people will just move it to somewhere else. And so they'll get the asset and this person will get the Dogecoin. So I think that moves like this will still be common, but we will see maybe just pullbacks like this instead of like this, because there will be less profit taking. That's my hypothesis. But it's just obviously it's a good thing rather than a bad thing to be able to send instead of just sell. So very excited about that, especially with Dogecoin for Tesla Catalyst still in play. We only are able to buy merchandise with Dogecoin. Still can't buy vehicles. We still have a lot of businesses that are not on board with crypto yet. I would love to see businesses start to accept Dogecoin like they do instead of using BitPay or some other ridiculous medium. I want to see them accept it natively like the Tesla website. You try to go to checkout. It says, all right, this is going to be your total in Doge. You owe 500 Doge, and it gives you a QR code to send Doge directly to their Dogecoin wallet at that amount. Once they get it and it gets verified that it's the correct amount, it gives you the check mark and it says transaction complete, transaction successful. Here's your receipt. That's the way it needs to be done. Not using something that's going to take someone's crypto and sell it and convert it to USD, causing sell pressure just to make the transaction go through. Not a fan of those programs. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So that, in addition to Robinhood Wallets going fully live, and then all the other catalysts that we have too with the actual Dogecoin wallets that should be coming later this year, and all the other developments from the Dogecoin Foundation, there's a lot to look forward to. Hopefully no ETH bridge. I'm still very against that. Alex, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. All right, there are only a couple things left that we can touch on here, and then we'll wrap up. Bitcoin conference. I actually didn't hear about that, but let me look it up. UK news on crypto. Oh yeah, and the Tesla stock split and the price jump from delivery numbers. Yeah, we can talk about that. First and foremost, the UK news on crypto. Let's take a look here. Artful requested that we take a look at this, and I didn't get a chance to read through it, so we can look at it together. Government sets out a plan to make UK a global crypto asset technology hub. Interesting. The government has today announced moves that will see stablecoins recognized as a valid form of payment as part of wider plans to make Britain a global hub for crypto asset technology and investment. That's actually really huge. This is a big step, and these are the steps that I'm really looking forward to seeing from other countries around the world. At this point, you got to realize that a lot of countries, they try to compete for a lot of things, right? So they want to have the largest army, they want to have the best living area, living conditions, whatever. They want to have the lowest crime rate. A lot of companies compete to be leaders in certain segments as well. I mean, there's competition for, who's going to be the first person on the moon, who's going to be the first one to do certain things in space. Like, everyone wants to be the first and they want to be the best. So now that countries and large institutions and organizations and establishments are starting to realize that cryptocurrency is a thing, cryptocurrency is here to stay, and that cryptocurrency can actually be valuable not just to us but to them if they figure out ways to utilize it and make it useful. and of course regulated as well. Now we're starting to see companies and governments try to be leaders in the cryptocurrency decentralized space. And this kind of competition that governments are going to have against each other is actually really, really important, and really big for things like Dogecoin and Bitcoin. The reason I'm saying that is because right now, if you look at the price of Bitcoin, it's at a pretty sad space, all things considered. I mean, you can take a look here, see where we're at from a technical standpoint. We're still in the upward trend channel here, but we're on the bottom side. We're kind of testing the support. And if we fall below, I mean, we could see another pullback to we could see 30, we could see lower. If things get worse with the war, we end up on another bear run. It could get nasty, but it's still unlikely. Not to go off topic, but that's the quick technical analysis here of Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is we're at a pullback here. You see, we went up to about 69,000 and we pulled all the way back, and now we're in the 40s. We're at a pullback because of market conditions and whatnot. Now, once the war is over, once the fear is gone, there's been lots and lots and lots of positive things in the crypto space that have happened since the war caused the market sell-off. A lot of things. Bitcoin getting accepted in more and more locations, lots of updates to the platform, lots of celebrities endorsing it and all kinds of things, and institutions and companies endorsing it. Lots of positive catalysts that normally would cause the price to move up, but all of that hype has been suppressed by fear. Once that fear goes away, then I think we're going to see Bitcoin slingshot up to 69,000 again and beyond. Probably break out this resistance upward channel, this trend line here, and keep going and start moving that towards 100K and beyond like we expected last year. I think that's what's realistically going to happen. These kind of things, governments competing for, and another reason that I think, before I move ahead too fast, another reason why I think Bitcoin is at kind of a standstill here at these lower prices is because consumers, the average everyday person, might be a little fearful that this is not a great time for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because all of these countries and whatnot are trying to figure out what in the world do we do with this new thing called crypto. Do we ban it? Do we banish it and get rid of it? Or do we adopt it and try to make use of it? And if we don't banish it, are we going to regulate it? To what extent are we going to regulate it? Are we going to make it so like a lot of the benefits of using it are completely gone to where it's not worth using anymore? Or are we going to really like take it on, use it, utilize it, and try to make it better? And so I think people are also just fearful right now about the future of cryptocurrency. So when we start to see, like I said, the fear factor start to disappear with the war, and then we start to see movement from positive catalysts start to kick in, and we start to make up for ground that we lost here. And then we start to see governments do stuff like this, which is basically say, okay, we're not going to ban it. We're going to embrace it. We're going to adopt it. We're going to make use of it. And we're maybe even going to invest in it ourselves. I mean, this is really positive type of news that I think will ease people's minds and help us get out of this hole even faster. And so once we've got no negative news, good catalysts, and governmental adoption across the world, I mean, Bitcoin's going to absolutely take off. And who knows, we could still be in a position where we see like 200,000 at the end of this year if these things clear up quickly and we start moving. So there's lots of potential, and obviously for Ethereum, for Cardano, for Dogecoin, XRP, and all these other projects, that means really good things as well. So we could be in a really great spot if things start to get better soon. But this is really positive news here, and I'll retweet this on my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at 2020Tech Reviews, and you can go ahead and read this article in its entirety as well if you're interested. But that looks pretty good. Okay, looks like there's going to be a Bitcoin live event presented by Cash App, and that could be good too. We'll have to see what that entails. Is there a date for that yet, Artful? I could probably just look it up instead of asking you. So let me try and do that. Bitcoin Cash App event. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty soon, huh? Looks like it said April 6th through 9th. Yep, April 6th through 9th. So that is going to be this week, Wednesday through Friday. Yeah, I'll see if there's any like keynotes or anything that look to be pretty important. If so, we can live stream that. But it's a 3-day event, so I'll have to sift through the agenda, see what they've got planned. All right, cool. Sounds good. Let's see, what else? We're getting close to the end of the stream, guys. Don't forget, ask any questions you have now before it's too late. Yes, all right, so the Tesla stock split and price jump from the delivery numbers. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla on the chart here. And there's two things I want to talk about. Tesla and Elon's new company, Twitter. All right. Before I get too far along here, let's see. We had some crazy market movement here on Twitter, guys. And why do you think that this price movement happened today? Well, it's because, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Elon Musk went ahead and bought 10% of Twitter, which is pretty significant. The way I look at this now, before I get to Tesla, is Twitter could be another, what's the word for this? Another potential money-making play. Usually people look at Elon's investments and the things that he's a part of. You know, Elon's like a wild card. And the things that he's associated with, people get really, really bullish on because he's a genius. He knows what he's doing. And he's really forward-thinking. And he is committed to success. So usually, and the betterment of things. Now, your opinion on everything else that he does and whatnot, so be it. But I think we can at least agree on that. So to see him get involved now in Twitter, it kind of makes you think, all right, well, what is he going to do with Twitter? Where is he going to take this? How is he going to utilize it? You know, what's his purpose? What's his end goal? And then you start to think of, the Dogecoin community maybe getting interested because now Elon's a part of it. The Tesla fanboy and girl community starting to look at Twitter and say, oh, Elon owns 10% of this. The SpaceX fanatics, the Boring Company fanatics, the old school PayPal fanatic, whatever. Anyone that's an Elon Musk fan. This is a new holding of Elon's, and he's now a part of this company. So who knows where the price will go here. Now, we do see here that Twitter had a previous high, looks like an all-time high, of $80 per, and currently, or as of this morning, the price was only at $30. Now, we see here that off that news, it spiked from under 40 all the way up to 50. That was just one move here. And it's still not even super overextended here. There's plenty of room to go here to the next resistance and to the all-time high. So Twitter could be a short to mid-term money-making play, even a long-term play, especially if he buys more percentage share in the social network. So I wouldn't mind buying some Twitter right now. And that's just because, me personally, I feel the same way. I like the things that Elon Musk tends to like. I feel like I can relate to a lot of the way that he looks at things. So, and then let's go ahead and go to Tesla. And I did notice that some people in the stock trading community were thinking that that move was just off hype and that Tesla or Twitter was going to sell off pretty hard, which means a lot of people probably went short. That means that if a lot of people went short and there's no sell-off and the price does spike again, there could be a short squeeze on Twitter and we could see the price really take off and go another 10 to 20 bucks. So I'm kind of tempted myself to get in, and I would probably recommend, throwing a couple bucks at Twitter before it's too late, just to see what happens. And, nothing that you're not willing to lose, because who knows, it might not pan out. But then Tesla here, I guess there was a massive spike because of good news, good numbers. Not surprised. Let's see. Any rumors on Apple accepting crypto? I haven't heard anything recently. Let's see. No recent news. I do expect that they'll figure out a way to do it because we know that Apple has Apple Wallet, and they also have their own card. And there's plenty of ways to make money off of cryptocurrency transactions and just that financial exposure. So I'm sure they will have it soon, but it does not look like there's any recent news on that. Now, we could see some pretty significant movement here on the day. Here on Tesla, we went from about 1,000 to 1,150. This is actually crazy when you look at this, guys, because what I ended up saying in our Discord group on, let me see. It was somewhere around here, December. Hang on. Wait a minute. Where were we? Oh, wow. Actually, never mind. I was looking too far back. In the Discord group here, in May of 2021, I said that Tesla, anything under $600 is a pretty nice mid to long-term buy. And then in December, I came back and said this aged well, okay? In May, when I said that, the price was about $598. And then when I came back in December and I said this aged well, the price was at about $1,000. Then, not too long ago, when the price dipped here, I was mentioning the potential scenario here where you might want to buy some more Tesla because it's very, very rare that you can get Tesla at these kind of prices these days near 700. So I mentioned the buy area to be right about here. This was only about 2 weeks ago when when Tesla was at $750 per share. Now, it's not $750 per share, it's $1,150 per share. So hopefully you guys have been paying attention to my callouts. If you would like to have more access to those callouts, I don't usually say them on Twitter. That's usually for the Discord group. So links in the description. You can join that group for free. Of course, like it says, it is read only. So you can see my callouts, but you can't like ask questions and all that stuff and chat with, that's kind of reserved for the paid members. But if you want to get those callouts and see what I'm thinking when I start talking to the group, go ahead, click that link in there. Download Discord if you don't have it. It only takes a moment to sign up for free. And join the group. Would love to see you there. And you'll get go live, YouTube notifications, and all that good stuff as well. But yeah, this is pretty significant. Big movement today. I think that Tesla, I mean, if you look at the way this is setting up here, we had, why does it do that? We had a big move here up to 1,250. Healthy pullback all the way down to 700. I mean, we retested under the 200 EMAs and SMAs and all that. We reclaimed, and now we're heading back up, and it looks like we want to make another run towards like 1,500 or 1,600 here. I would not be surprised to see this stop in this general area. Tesla continues to innovate and push the envelope. They've got the supercharger network, and they are still some pretty big steps ahead of the competition, which makes me think that there's still room for the valuation to increase. Another big reason that I think we're going to end up here, and very big reason, guys, is because Tesla is going to be undergoing a 20-for-1 stock split. If you don't know what that means, it means that... Oh, phone just vibrated. If you don't know what that means, it means that basically the entire stock value of Tesla is like a pizza, and the shares of the stock are like the slices. Right now, one share of Tesla stock is $1,150. They're going to be taking one slice and cutting it into 20. Now, yes, as a potential share purchaser, when you buy a share, your share is going to hold 1/20th of the value. It's going to be a smaller share. But, oh, are you? Okay, let me get a new Discord link in there, Crypto Critter. I think I had that one set to a week, and it's been over a week since that was in there. So let's do this. No limit, doesn't expire, new link. Copy, edit, paste, save. Okay, try now. That link should be good. All right, so basically you're getting your share is worth a 20th of what a share would have been worth before the split, but it's also 1/20th of the current share price, which means people that are interested in Tesla, people that don't have just $1,000 sitting around, because people usually, we know psychologically, sorry, almost had to yawn there. We know psychologically, people typically want to own at least one share of something. People do not like buying fractions of a share. It just makes them feel like they don't really have one, which they don't. And then also it makes them feel like they won't be able to make as much money off the move, because they even though it's percentage gain based, you can't buy a share now and then see your share be worth $1,300 when Tesla hits $1,300 per share, because you don't have a full share. So you're always going to be lagging behind. People psychologically like to at least have one. So now that this is going to be 20 times more accessible, so the price won't be $1,000 per, it's going to be like $50 or $60 per. And so now you can buy multiple shares of Tesla for a fraction of the price as of one today. And so, yeah, like I said, ownership of the company wise, you're going to be owning less. But people don't usually care about the actual ownership of the company unless they're going in with incredibly large position sizes and they're trying to be a big shareholder. Usually people just want shares of a company they like, that they're bullish on, and they want to see those shares increase in value. So this stock split is just very good for retail traders and investors, and it makes them will make them more inclined to buy. All right, so there's that. Makes them way more inclined to buy. So we'll probably see a massive bullish run. We are already starting to see it off that hype that there's going to be a stock split, because people know historically what that means. And if you go back in time and look at the last stock split, which was right here, there was a 5-to-1 split. And you can basically see historically what ended up happening. There was news of the stock split. The price started to run up from $200 per share all the way up to $500. Then the actual news happened. People sold the news. It pulled back from 500 all the way down to 300. Then it over time recovered and then broke into new ground. So that's what we're seeing here. Price run up into the stock split until it happens. Then the price is going to sell off after the split. So if it splits and the value is worth about $55 per share, it's probably going to pull back and end up being worth like 30, 35 at some point. And then the price is going to move back up, curve back up to that 50, 55 level, break above that, and then it's going to start hitting, searching for those next price targets. $100, $200, $300, $400. And if you own multiple shares, you're going to really, really enjoy that. And I remember owning a couple shares of Tesla before the last split, because at the time, don't forget, it was a 5-for-1 split previously, which means that though this says $500, it was 5 times more expensive than that. So what is that, $2,500 per share? But it's just a psychological thing here. Much cheaper shares, more accessible to the everyday person. You can see here it took about a month and a half after the sell-off before things came back up to the peak where the hype was. But once it broke above that area here, once it broke above $500, I mean, it really just took off. It went from 500 up to 900 in the course of about 2 months. One and a half to 2 months. How much did Tesla go up since the last split? Well, it was 500 then, and now it's 1,150. So it has over doubled in price. But when the announcement of the split happened, it was probably somewhere around here. So since then, I mean, it's almost 5x since the announcement, but 2x since the actual split. And people are just bullish on Tesla. So I feel like every time there's a split and it makes it more accessible for retail traders to buy in, people are going to go buy in. Did I sell? Yeah, I sold. I've sold, I'll be honest, a lot of good positions just because I wanted the capital to mess with other things. I am really not good at long-term holding. I get too impatient and I see day trading opportunities. I see scalping opportunities, and I like to have my capital for that. So I usually don't do long-term plays. If I were to do a long-term play, it would probably be making a play off of this. Honestly, I wish I had bought when I told everybody else to, right in this dip area. I would have bought like a couple shares of Tesla and just held that for about a year or 2 years, and would have seen that go to the moon. Is the 20-to-1 split confirmed? Yes. Yeah, it's official. I forget what the date is, but we can look it up real quick. Tesla stock split date, August 31st. Oh, sorry, not true. They announced it on March 28th. They did not give a date yet on when the stock split will be this year. If it goes off of previous, the previous stock split was on August 31st, though. So it could be around that time again this year, but they did not give a date. But it is official. They announced it on March 28th. When do I think Elon will accept Dogecoin? I think definitely Robinhood Wallets is important. And, you know, I don't know. I think this whole Twitter thing is good. What this Twitter thing is good for, to be honest, and thinking big picture here, if Elon Musk can, now that he has this nearly 10% stake in Twitter, if he can use that to get Dogecoin tips, being the primary method of tipping on Twitter, we could really start to see. I mean, he could use that as another testing ground to see what the demand for Dogecoin usage is, make it popular for all the Twitter users. If they want to tip somebody, kind of force them, not, you know, force them like that, but kind of direct them and guide them into using Dogecoin as the method for tipping, make it more popular, make it more accessible, help spread awareness and all of that. And then, and this will also be when Robinhood Wallets is done and fully released, then we might see a Dogecoin for Tesla full reveal after Dogecoin's a lot more popular and widely used. So, but as far as Dogecoin for Tesla, just when do I think it's going to happen? I really don't know. I'm honestly not even really waiting on it at this point. I don't know. So much time has passed, and we already had one wave of Doge for Tesla. I don't know that Doge for Tesla is my biggest catalyst anymore. I do still think it's important because it's going to make other companies start to take note. But at the same time, I think Dogecoin, just really, we need like word of mouth, spreading the word and awareness to happen. And that could be done multiple ways. And I mean, someone like Elon could take the lead, just like he tried to make that attempt for McDonald's to accept Dogecoin. He could really lead the awareness movement. And maybe Twitter is his first way of trying to do that. I don't know. But I'm really trying not to bet on the Dogecoin for Tesla thing making the price go to the moon. Because, like I've always said, I think if it does, that will be a temporary spike. It'll then pull back. But then we're going to really need to start to see other companies still catch on, notice what's happening, take note, and then start to accept it themselves to really make the price go back up to that point and then hold there, which is what I'm looking for. The price to go up and hold at a level, not just spike and come back down like it did on SNL night. So, yeah. Yeah, the 20-to-1 is confirmed, but we just don't have a date. So, is that everything I wanted to talk about? Yep. Twitter. But yeah, I would consider buying some Tesla. Not a whole lot, because a lot of stock split hype has already been priced in, and so we can expect post split that there might be a sell-off. So save some capital, but I would still buy some just in case we're not at the top yet. I would also probably buy some Twitter, and I would be buying some Dogecoin, maybe some Bitcoin too if I had that kind of money, but I don't. So I usually stay away because I can't buy one whole Bitcoin. So you see that psychological thing? If I can't own a whole one, usually I don't want to try. And then also some Ethereum, I think, is a really good play for this year. If ETH2 does hit, we'll probably see Ethereum at like 15K at some point by the end of the year, 10 to 15, maybe higher. And obviously Ethereum is only 3K right now. So I think no matter what, if it gets 10K and beyond, you still 3x your portfolio. So, or your investment rather. So that's my plays. Anyway, guys, I think that's about going to do it for for the day. Don't forget to like the stream, of course, if you haven't already. Discord link is in the description if you want to go ahead and join for free and check us out. I may be reducing the member fee in the future just to make it more accessible, but I've been trying to contemplate, do I want to make it completely free or not? But I really only want people in there talking that take things serious. Like, I don't want a whole bunch of trolls and spammers and people that don't know at all what they're talking about, trying to give people advice and making people lose money. So I'm trying to have some kind of filter there. And we'll see what that is, but for now, that filter is being a member of the channel, and I continue to appreciate those that are members and support. Bitcoin Cash, not a whole lot of thoughts there, but you just reminded me one thought on Ethereum Classic could be a play, because a lot of people do not believe, in proof of stake. Did I pause the music forever? Please hold. There we go. A lot of people do not believe in proof of stake, and they really believe in proof of work. And ETH2, I mean, that's going to be proof of stake. And so people are thinking that Ethereum Classic might be way more popular once Ethereum does that, because they think that that's a mistake and that it should just stay as it is. So we could see Ethereum Classic start to make some moves here as we get closer to ETH2, especially if current ETH holders decide to switch their holding from Ethereum to Ethereum Classic for that reason. So same reason that people believe Bitcoin should be proof of work like it is now and not proof of stake. They just think it's a better protocol. So we'll see. Not many thoughts on Bitcoin Cash though. I mean, I still think it's just the experiment or project that is just not nearly as successful as primary Bitcoin. I don't really have a problem with it though. But with Bitcoin doing as good as it does, me personally, I don't see a reason to mess with Bitcoin Cash. It doesn't really make too much sense for me, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. All right, guys, I think that's about going to do it. So thanks for all the support. We'll probably be live again soon. I don't know about this week, because we'll just have to keep an eye on the markets and see if things happen, because I don't want to go live if there's nothing exciting to talk about. Usually, like I said at the beginning of the stream, if there's nothing happening, I try not to look at the charts so that I don't end up over trading and forcing trades that shouldn't have occurred. So if the market's slow, I just take the day off, basically, from looking at crypto and stocks. So, but if something happens, if we get more Dogecoin, ADA, Ethereum, or Bitcoin fluctuations, or any new news that's worth discussing, I'll be live. But if not, just expect to catch me early next week.